My name is Kenneth Wood. I'm a contractor. I've been a contractor for over 34 years. Unfortunately, I've been very brutal on my body. We do everything from pouring the slab to putting the shingles on. And just years of abuse to my body, not picking things up correctly, lifting beams, thinking I'm, Hercules. For years, I've had lower back issues. The last few months, I've taken on some projects that required a lot of bending and pulling from the floor, and then a bunch of concrete work, so I was constantly bent over. Unloading concrete by hand, caused a herniation of the disc. And, it didn't matter what I tried to do at that point, the damage was done. My butt muscles were always clenched up constantly, 24/7. It's just so uncomfortable. It's hard to sleep. It's hard to walk. And it just progressively gotten worse to the point where I couldn't work no more. My time with my wife was limited on what we could do because of my injuries. And she deserves the best of me. I said, I'm not going to do this. It's hard not to get emotional because it changes your life. And I know there's a lot of contractors out there going through the same thing I'm going through. And they're probably scared as I was. And in my head, I'm thinking I can get through this and just go to the chiropractor. It was like putting a Band-Aid on it. And then 6 months later, I was hurting again. I refuse to take medicine. I don't like to even put anything like that in my body. Well, it wasn't working. So I finally had to break down and get the MRI. And that's one thing I was afraid to get an MRI because I knew it wasn't going to be good. I've had so many friends that have been through back surgeries and stuff, and they're just walking bent over, they're still hurting, and I didn't want to go that route. I've seen Bonati's commercials for years, and every time I've seen it, I tell my wife, one day I may have to go, and if I do, that's where I'm going. And when my wife and I started researching Dr. Bonati's program here, it was different than anything else.
Ken tells us his experience of getting an MRI at home versus having images taken at the Bonati Spine Institute's on-campus imaging center.
Went in on like a Saturday for the MRI, and I think it was Wednesday. So it was like 4 days of sitting there stressing what's going on. You still don't know nothing. Here, they took me back for imagery, and I seen it within an hour.
Surgical guests of the Bonati Spine Institute are often surprised by how efficient the process is from the initial contact to them headed home post-surgery. This is due in part to the use of conscious IV sedation, where the patient remains awake and communicating with their surgeon to ensure the source of their pain is eliminated before they leave the operating table.
The time that I first called Bonati's and we started setting things up, it only took a day, really, on the phone with the ladies to explain things to me. Within 4 days, went in and set the appointment up for the surgery. We drove 14 hours to get here. Trip here was a little hard because you're sitting in that car so long, so we had to break it up a little bit. But we got here Saturday, came in Monday morning for evaluations. Tuesday surgery, Wednesday surgery. I was able to look over and actually watch them do the work they were doing into my back. I could communicate and let them know if I was feeling any pain shooting down my legs or anything like that.
No pain here.
No, sir.
No pain here.
No, sir.
No pain here.
No, sir.
They allowed my wife to come in for the procedures. Nobody does that. And when your loved one's going through stuff like this, they want to be a part of it. They want to know you're okay. And that gave her a peace of mind that she was able to be in there and experience it with me. She wasn't left in the dark. So that was awesome. Yeah. 2 days ago was my first surgery, and I did feel a relief in my buttocks area because that was like brutal. I mean, it felt like somebody hit me with a ball bat right there in my lower back. So both sides of my muscles were just so balled up for so long. And the very next day, I literally was walking, and I wasn't feeling that clenching of the muscles anymore. I was impressed that I was able to walk out here, get in my vehicle, go home. You gotta allow your body time to heal. But the pain that I had was gone. Because you are swollen from the surgery, and that's to be expected, but it's not the same soreness. The pain I'm having today is like a bruise I'm actually able to put my socks and shoes on this morning. I couldn't do that. Within 2 days, I'm walking. I'm not hurting. I'm not feeling the shooting down the legs like I was. I went for 2 walks this morning, at least a mile each. And Dr. Bonati will tell you, he wants you walking. Tomorrow morning, which would be our 4th day, I'm getting back in my car and going back to Texas, going back home.
Immediately after the exclusive Bonati Spine procedures, patients are asked to get up and move in the recovery room before being released to return to their hotel or home if they live nearby.
As soon as the surgery was over and they had me in recovery, which was like so fast, they had me up after the first surgery and I was walking, and like I said, I could feel that pressure in my butt was gone. And then yesterday after my second procedure, I ran from one side of that room to the other like 3 or 4 times. And I was like, I couldn't have ran 2 weeks ago. There's no way. The pain that was shooting through my lower back was unbearable. So for him to tell me to run, I'm like, what? You want me to run? Okay. So I started running, and I wasn't sprinting, but I was moving way better than I was before I came in here. And that was just 2 days. Dr. Bonati Institute has changed my life. I know he's done everything he can for me, and I know it's going to make a difference. And my wife, to know that we've got this done, has put a smile on her face because she knows she's going to have me back. And it does impact every aspect of your life. So if you're fighting with this, you need to at least call, contact, do the consultation, and just pray about it and follow your heart. Mine brought me here, and I am so grateful.
At the Bonati Spine Institute, there is no need to wear uncomfortable braces or go through time-consuming physical therapy. Instead, patients are prescribed a walking regimen of about 40 minutes a day.
There's no suggestion of back braces or nothing like that. They want me to go home and just kind of be natural and just get back to life cautiously, because we did just have surgery. So it's going to take some time for that to heal. I haven't needed bracing. I haven't needed a crutch. I haven't needed a walking cane. I literally got up out of that bed and walked to my car and went home. Got up next morning, did the same thing. And it's amazing. It really is amazing.
Ken highly recommends the Bonati Spine Institute to anyone suffering with neck or back pain.
A friend of mine, Joella, she had back surgery in Houston, and she's been communicating with my wife since I got here because that surgery, it didn't work. So she is contemplating coming here. I know a lot of contractors that are feeling and going through the same thing, and they live with it daily, and it limits them. And I don't care how big or bad you think you are, these injuries hurt, and it impacts every aspect of your life.
Ken is looking forward to getting back to work and spending quality time with his wife again.
Getting back on my Harley with my wife, that's our time, and we haven't been able to do that. And if you love your wife, set your pride aside and do what you got to do to be the man that she needs you to be. And it was an eye-opener for me. And same as most guys, I'm tough, I'm Hercules, I'm fine. No. If you want to be 100% all you can be for your family, not just your wife, but your kids, seriously contemplate coming here, because this will change your life.
To see more stories of recovery just like this, search for the Bonati Spine Institute on Roku, Amazon's Fire TV, Google Play Store, and Apple's App Store.